So, we're ready to start this next race. Ooh, this is a nice background. Perfect. Okay, now we're ready to start. Timers are working. So let's look at these menus. I'm definitely seeing some fast menus. It seems like Pikmin's improved over the course of these races. Ooh.
Yeah, Lenophis's menus were pretty good in the last race too. Looks pretty solid and pretty good start so far.
Like a 41, it's respectable. So Lenophis is buying 99 potions. I think you really only need to go with like 71. He only bought 11 Phoenix Stones though, so...
I've actually cut it down to 41 myself.
41, wow.
Well, I mean, the route gets Hilara faster now, so
yeah.
I mean, you really don't use 41 potions in the course of the full run.
True.
I've also, sometimes, like, I get 11 or 21 Phoenix Downs depending on how fast I input. 108 leave castle from Pikmin is fairly respectable. And 109 from Lenophis is slower than his last race, but still respectable.
Mm-hmm.
I like to aim sub 105 is a good time for leaving the castle and for my own personal standards anyway. It's like Pikmin is getting a little bit better RNG off the start. He's already at the Judgment Staff menu. The timer on both stopped, by the way. If I had to hazard a guess, this is a sub 230 Garland from Pikminsteve, which is really good. I'm not sure if the timer on Lenophis' side was accurate at the time, but 230 Garland is a really good start to a run. We're gonna get the timers working second off the SRL time. and go start it again. Lenophis had a 3-minute Garland, which is it's not bad. Ideally, you want anywhere between 230 and 245 Garlands. Yeah, Sigma, if you're gonna join in the commentary, just join any of the voice channels I'm moving on. We unlocked it apparently. Hello, Sigma. So, joining me here now for commentary is OD Sigma. Or, sorry, in a second whenever he gets in. Sigma is the current world record holder for this category as a 127.01. I think he's having news at the moment.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hey, there we go.
Hey,
Welcome, Sigma.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I had a little more free time than I thought I was going to today, but I wouldn't have been able to make it for the whole thing, so glad I could come in and at least say hello and maybe just say a few things about, you know, my experience with the tournament.
Right.
So one of the questions in chat is how we get past the initial level difference in the beginning of the game. The PSP version has an equipment glitch that is native to this version of the game, and we use it to basically give ourselves OP equipment throughout the whole game. So one of the first things that we do in the run, in that very, very first menu, is we glitch the hammer into becoming the Knight's Armor, which is a very, very powerful piece of equipment at this point in the game. And its extra benefit is that it's very valuable. It sells for 18,000 gil. So we make enough of them that we basically have no money issues with the entire run. As well, you'll see that all the enemies are hitting us for 0 or 1 damage, because its defense is higher than anything you can get at this point in the game. So Lenophis and Pikmin here have relatively decent pirate splits. They're both looking like they're going to get a sub-6 pirates time, which is very, very good.
Yeah, sub-6
as far as early game goes.
Yeah, sub-6 is a decent dirt, indeed. I'm sad we didn't get any 15 puzzle strats this run, but...
Leno might go for it. So there's a mini game in Final Fantasy 1 on the ship. Once you get it, it's called 15 Puzzle, and I think it's the second place victory. There's a 1 in 6 chance of getting an emergency exit, and it's not very commonly gone after during races because it has the potential to waste time. But if you get that 1 in 6 chance of getting the emergency exit, you can save up to 2 minutes later on in the run by just warping out of Cavern of Earth. But it doesn't look like either of them decided to go for it this time.
Like I'd say
in my
race,
tournament race.
It's probably not worth it.
In my tournament race against Lenophis, he went for the emergency exit.
Yes, he
didn't get it, which wasted time for him. But that didn't matter because RNG struck again on my side of the race. Like Pikmin got a little lucky with the wolves there. Wolves are probably the trolliest encounter in the early parts of the run, just because they outspeed you most of the time. And they're harder to run from than a lot of the other encounters. Both runners are currently on a relatively good early game pace. Pikmin's pace is a little bit better, as you can see, but they look like, barring any trolling in here, on pace for a sub-9 crown, which is also incredibly good. It's definitely something that in PB attempts that you want to aim for sub-9 crowns, and even if you don't get it, you're still, as long as it's sub-930, it's still good.
Yeah, I think we're seeing... I think Pikmin got like a sub-9, so that's pretty good pace so far. Lenophis isn't too far behind. Hopefully we'll be able to see a close race. I think both of these runners are sort of underdogs, so to say. Lenophis trying to reclaim his old title of like best FF1 player. And also having lost to Cruel, it would be interesting to see a rematch. And Pikmin is also sort of an underdog in general, seeing as he's somewhat of a newcomer to FF1 in general.
And like the chat has just pointed out, Pikmin's side started the race before Lenophis's.
Yeah, I mean this is I started the
delay,
time
so
range,
yeah, so there's probably about an 8-second difference on Lenophis's side. So although it wasn't sub-9 according to the timer, it actually was, because the timers are synced. So we have to take that into consideration as well.
Yeah, that's where we're going by the SRO times for if the races are too close to call, just based on timers.
Yeah, I've been watching some of Pikmin's races, and his reaction time in terms of what to do seems to be just as good as anyone. So he's definitely has a good chance.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't take much to get to the high level of this game. It's rather easy to learn, but you have to
I would
persevere.
say after like 5 or 6 runs, I was pretty much at that point. But, yeah.
It's not hard to get at the level where you can compete for world record. It's just, once you're at that point, it just becomes a matter of art.
Oh yeah, I know.
But to get to that level, it doesn't take very long.
Yeah.
So he casts death 1 out of 3 times. I think if he kills Judgment Staff user, you don't have a good chance at all. So actually, this is looking like a pretty solid Astos time on Pikmin's end.
Yeah. Even Lenophis' time. Anything sub-12 is really good.
Yeah. So we're seeing 2 good starts, which is actually nice to see. Because it's hard to get 2 good starts. Like, getting 1 good start has happened before today, but the other player lagged behind that created a disparity, and that's not too fun to watch. But thankfully it's still extremely close, Leno being slightly ahead, seeing as his stream is a bit further behind.
I mean, by comparison, my fastest ever Astos time was 11:04.
Yeah.
In my all bosses PB, and that was with the 213 Garland. So
Yeesh. I think my best Garden's like 212.
really good pace. So I mean, that's the best time that I've ever gotten to Astos over 200 run attempts. So realistically, that's, you know, not something you can expect on an average run. Anything sub 12 is realistically good enough to consider yourself on good pace. Looks like Leno is gonna surpass Pikmin here because of the wolf ambush.
Yeah, I mean at this point when it's so tight, it's really hard to keep such like a small distance between the runners with this game. Like all you need is one of them to get good luck or one of them to get bad luck. So it's basically twice as hard.
A second wolf ambush is going to increase the gap on Lenophis' side a little bit more.
It's a shame because like Pikmin was on a good start. Let me pull up his PB for reference. I think he was already like 2 minutes ahead of his PB at Astos. Wow. Yeah, this split has not been doing so well for Pikmin at this point. He's just been getting a ton of encounters.
He's also he's walked on a little bit more forest tiles than he necessarily has to, which may have contributed to an extra encounter or two on his end. Pikmin's getting a lot of wolves in big packs too. But still, the gap between the two of them is not very large.
Nobody's mentioned the broom so far. Pikmin's in the room with Matoya.
Yeah, we didn't talk about
Yeah,
that, but all the group names were named after ways to die or to lose in FF1.
Yeah, a funny story. Asabi was the broom got stuck in front of the door, and it blocked him for a good, what was it, 15 seconds?
Yeah.
In one of his runs, and that actually cost him the world record at the time.
That was back when world record was like a 135. Back when sub 30 was like the dream, and now sub 30 is something achieved by like 5 runners. It's ways how far the times have gone down as well.
I started running the game when you had a 130.5 as a world record.
Yeah.
And even then, like, I thought that was unbeatable at the time.
Yeah, sub 30 back then was like a theoretical thing, like, oh, if you get like the perfect run, you maybe go to sub 30. And then it happened, and then I think I got like a 120-30 in a race.
Yeah, it was rather funny for a while. Chrono had a stretch where he would just like set a new world record every week, and then I would PB around the same time he would set the new world record. So I would PB, he would world record, I would PB, he would world record, and like the gaps between us like stayed the same for quite a while.
Yeah.
So like every time I thought I was catching up to him, he would just set a new world record, and I was like, oh crap.
I don't know, I don't really enjoy going after world records in this game too much, just because it's more like a question of perseverance rather than a test of skill. Like it's about like who's willing to play the game for the longest and grind out the times and reset for hours on end. But I mean, there's a lot of great runners now. Like all the runners near the top of the leaderboards still play very well. And it's great to see them compete in such a tournament. All the matches so far have been quite entertaining, so...
Yeah, theoretically world record is possible from anyone in the top 10, if they tried.
Yeah. I'd say definitely.
So Chrono, do you want to take a minute to explain exactly how the equipment glitch works?
Yeah, I guess we might as well, since we're in sort of a downtime period. So, what happens is that you can switch between characters in the equip menu with the short buttons, or in L. And basically, when you press confirm, on a slot and a character over a character, what happens is that it'll pull up all the possible items the character can equip. So if you're on the weapon slot for warrior and you press A, it'll show hammer, knife, etc., etc. But if you switch characters and press confirm at the same time, what happens is that the game will switch characters and then open up the previous character's possible items. So I could, for example, equip a longsword on a white mage or something like that. Because the game is taking the items from one character and allowing me to equip them on the next. And now another interesting property of that is if you have memory cursor on, the game will remember what position you are in. So one interesting thing to note is that since the way the game stores items in memory is that each item has a name, but the game actually has overlapping names between weapons and armors, and so the game determines whether or not something's a weapon or an armor based on where it is. So if item number 1 is in the weapon slot, it's going to be hammer, but if it's in the armor slot, it's going to be knight's armor. So with memory cursor, you can open up the previous items from character A onto character B, but also in a different slot. So if I'm displaying item 1 through E4, in the armor slot instead of the weapon slot, I'm going to have access to different armor depending on what weapon I used. So I can convert a hammer into a knight's armor, for example. And this also creates a knight's armor out of nothing. So it allows us to, A, create new items for money. So it gives us essentially free money. It also allows us to create overpowered items. Because most items in the game end up giving you an item of equal value, like, I don't know, like a standard hat will give you another weapon that you could probably get near the same place in the game. But for some reason, some items gives you hugely overpowered items, like Steel Gloves giving you Barbarian Sword, which is like a normal piece of armor giving you like the most overpowered sword in the game, and other stuff like that. But those are few and far between. So that allows us to.
Is another example of it.
So it allows us to essentially gain very overpowered equipment early on, which allows us to compensate for low levels. So like you're seeing random encounters where we take 1 damage from physical attacks. So the main threat is elemental attacks, because we don't really have any protection from those. So we still take full damage, and those can be quite dangerous, and bosses as well.
That's fixed later on in the run when we pick up the ribbons. Yeah. Because the ribbons give elemental defense. But that's much later on in the run. So not having that early on makes Lich's Blizzara, Marilis Firaga, Dark Wizard's Firaga, and White Dragon's Ice Storm very dangerous and potential run killers.
The runners are still neck and neck. It's definitely an interesting race so far. Like, if they stay neck and neck up until Lich, we'll have a very interesting race on our hands. Because so far today, there's always been a concrete lead forming at around Lich. So we'll see if we can manage to not have that happen. Because if we have a tight race after Lich, it's gonna stay tight for a while unless something catastrophic happens.
Yeah, Cavern of Ice has the potential to give someone the lead if it's tied. But after, like, anything between there and Sunken, it's going to be really tight for both racers.
Yeah, one thing to note is we're going to be able to actually see which route is faster, seeing as how Lenophis does his own version of some things.
So Pikmin got unlucky with the Sahagin Big Eyes encounter, and he wasn't able to run away even with these elements, which is a little bit unlucky. It looks like he's electing to kill them rather than attempt a second run. It was probably a smart move on his part because he could have been paralocked there.
Alright. I know, it's still pretty rare to get even like one encounter on the way to Moment. Especially an encounter that takes a while to run from. So Lenophis is pulled ahead a bit, even though like they were neck and neck exiting the cavern. Lenophis isn't getting that bad of a cavern as well so far.
Out of all the menus, the Barbarian Sword menu is is a harder one to get down optimally.
Yeah.
Just because it's a little different than the rest of the menus, where you just stick a gear on the helmet, armor, and gloves. This one you have to do some formation changes, and in order to get the last barbarian sword optimally, you glitch it onto the black mage, and then you unequip it, which puts it in your inventory, and then you because the warrior can equip it natively, you equip it on him and then re-glitch another one back onto the black mage.
Because
So that's one of the more complicated ones to figure out.
yeah, one thing to note is because since you're glitching item A into item armor B, basically, so you're taking weapon A and transforming into armor A, you basically need to have a character that can equip the initial item that you're transforming. And then he's the only one that can pass it on to others. Since the warrior's the only one that can equip steel gloves, he's the only one that can pass on the barbarian sword to other characters. So thankfully he can equip it naturally.
And that's really interesting to note, actually, because that's really the only reason why the warrior is even in the route.
Yeah. Otherwise thieves do more damage and are faster, etc, etc. So they're just like a much better option, but they can't equip steel gloves. So we really wouldn't have access to barbarian sword until we get ninjas later on the run, and that would just be too late. Ninjas can equip so many items, that's why they're actually very useful as well.
Yeah, like a lot of the route is routed not only around preparing ourselves for the chaos fight, but it's also routed around who can glitch what. So the party formation is determined, like the reason we have the party that we do is determined in a large part by who can glitch what items onto other people.
Which is why warrior and white mage are adjacent to each other at the start of the game. So that they can pass stuff between each other. Because white mage can thankfully equip the hammer as well as the warrior.
Pikmin had a really good B3, so he's caught up some of the time he lost.
Indeed.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
25 vampires from both of them are really good pace. I'd say if you get like a 23 vampire, you're on world record pace, but 25 vampires is still good pace. If you get a good exit and you get a good lich time, then you can potentially catch up to the world records pace. That's a really nice free exit on Pikmin's part so far as well. I think Lenophis had one Piscodemon encounter on the way out. Personally, I can't speak for the other runners, but personally I find that McDonald's coffee is the best coffee when running FF1. I swear by it. But I'm sure any coffee will do. The Cobra ambush was unfortunate on Pikmin's side. I usually don't like to see stuff like Cobras, because you have to take the time to antidote. As well, avoiding the bats on the way out is just as much skill as avoiding the encounters.
Yeah, I think Leno probably had a really good Earth Rod split there. up there really fast.
Yeah.
Sub 28. That's really good.
So one thing I think we haven't mentioned about shadows is that they're either a preemptive or an ambush. So most of the time shadows are good news, giving you a free runaway, but sometimes the game messes with you and gives you an ambush. And they're actually hard to run from as well. Surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think so.
If you get ambushed by shadows, it's probably better to just kill them. Of course, like, naturally never seeing any ambushes is it's really the goal. But if you do have to get ambushed, the quality of the ambushes really determines a lot of the RNG mitigation. Like, getting ambushed by ogres is not as big a deal as getting ambushed by, like, a pack of 8 gargoyles, for example.
Yeah.
So generally, it's like, if you're going to get ambushed, and you will, like, it's FF1, you're always going to get ambushed, you want to see ambushes like the one Leno got with the ogres.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a full refresh on his stream because it's lag behind quite a bit. So I think Leno was behind at some point, and there's the ambush we were talking about.
Yeah. At least it was only 4 shadows. It's not as bad. They
Yeah,
can come in packs of up to 7 or 8, I believe.
Indeed.
He got the first turn run from them too, which was really lucky.
Like, Leno's not getting the best B2, so Pikmin can catch up a bit, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're still close enough that it's anybody's race still. How the B3 goes for both runners will be a huge determination, and comes out of Cavern of Earth ahead. Leno seems to be having a pretty good one on the second trip around as well.
Right.
Is that 1 encounter? Looks like 1 encounter. That's really good. It's like the dream. Yeah, that was 1 encounter. That's the dream.
Nice.
That's the dream B3.
It looks like he's having trouble with the cockatrices here. I believe, but oof, with the cockatrice ambush on Pikmin. This could be bad. This could be bad.
On both sides.
Thankfully, I don't see anyone
Leno's-
getting petrified.
Leno's opting to kill the cockatrices, which is probably a smart move.
Pikmin's opting to run away. That's not working too well.
That's the riskier move.
Oh, but it paid off, though.
On Pikmin's side.
And he's saving afterwards. It's a good move. It's a good move right there. And oof. Wow, this is just like a train of bad luck. Leno almost got paralocked there. That would have been quite the succession of events right there. But thankfully, he was almost petrified and almost paralocked instead of straight up petrified or paralocked. So yeah, looks like Leno's gonna get a pretty decent ledge time actually. I think that was no encounters on B5, pretty standard. So he's opting for the safety stay instead of the heal. And Pikmin's just entering B4, so hopefully he can catch up a bit if he gets good RNG. Encounters comes a bit early and it's not too good of an encounter. Wraiths are like, I don't know. It's pretty much a gamble trying to run. Like, it could pay off if you went first try.
if Lich Blizzards, then Pikmin has a chance to catch up.
I think we'll still
Watch it
survive.
to save.
Ooh, well, we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. He survives. That's the thing.
Oh, his White Mage had a high enough health.
His Thief as well is looking real good on health. Shouldn't have any problems. His Black Mage though is worrying me a bit. Like 100 health is a bit low for Leno. Like Pikmin already has an extra 20 health there. His Thief / Ninja is gonna be fine, pretty sure. But his Black Mage is gonna be a bit low. But I mean, you usually have to Giant Tonics the Black Mage anyways, so.
Yeah, there's no reason why you shouldn't tonic the Black Mage in a race. Absolutely no reason. I can understand wanting to.
I've seen 300 health on the
PB
Black Mage
attempts.
before. I've seen it. But yeah, usually the Black Mage is under like 250, which is I'd say 250 is still like pulling a bit risky. If you want to be super safe, you should tonic anything under 280, just to be sure.
I mean, in a PB attempt, deciding whether or not to tonic the Black Mage is a legitimate question on the runner's part. Like
Right.
I've decided not to tonic at 180 HP on the Black Mage, but in a race, there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't take the safe strat and just tonic.
Yeah. So looking at
Unless
about,
you're neck and neck.
about a minute difference between the runners at this point. So I think that was a double crit to finish the fight. That's nice. So I think Pikmin's Black Mage has more health than his White Mage at this point, so I think he might not even have the tonic. Because, like, the thing with this game is that your HP is based off on your vitality. So stat gains are a bit random in this game. But it... But if you have good vitality to start with, it'll make every single health gain afterwards better. So seeing as he already has high health, it means he already has high vitality, so his subsequent health gains are going to be very good as well. So it's possible he can end up with about 280 health or so. I'd still buy the tonics just in case, but who knows.
Yeah. It takes 2 seconds to buy the tonics anyway.
I don't know, like, Leno's health is also... We're seeing some weird health, like, Leno's Thief already has 211 health, which is insane before your class changes as well. So his Ninja's not gonna have any problems, his Warrior is actually looking low. But the Knight has such good vitality that's not gonna be a problem at all. His Black Mage is, like, very worrying, like, 100 health is very low at this point. So he's gonna definitely have to tonic, and even then, he's gonna have a rough first round if Chaos decides to blaze. Because that's the thing with tonicking, is that you still have to survive the first round without anyone dying. Until your White Mage gets the chance to heal.
Yeah, and Chaos likes to open with Blaze a lot.
I mean, Blaze, I think you have good protection against Blaze, but I think Tsunami and Cyclone are non-elemental. That's the problem. So
Yeah,
you
that's
take...
why they do so much damage.
Yeah. I mean, another thing the Ribbons, so one attack we've seen from Chaos we didn't talk about is Earthquake. We saw it on the Sandworms. So Earthquake is essentially an instant death attack, which you can survive, but Ribbons makes it so that you survive 100% of the time. So that's not a problem.
We saw the Earthquake on Leno before he had the ribbons last run. That's
Yeah. And on the
Which
final
is
boss,
super-
it's even more devastating.
Yeah, the ribbons protect us from Earthquake on the final boss.
I mean, the biggest advantage to class change is the ability to have a teleport, which saves a lot of time. And the class change is essentially, it takes about as long as grinding extra levels. So instead of choosing to grind extra levels, we choose to do class change instead and get the advantage of teleport. Because the order route grinded instead of doing Citadel and class change. So we basically come out even stat-wise and time-wise, but we have access to teleport, which saves us time. So it's better to do class change.
It helps with the survival vest menu too, because doing class change lets the ninja equip the Gigantax.
Right.
I mean, you could still equip the survival vest without class change, but the menu takes longer as well. Not to mention the benefits that you lose out on from not having teleport.
Indeed. I mean, Ice Cavern could make or break it at this point. Like, There's only about like a minute and a half lead, so that's nothing at all going into Ice Cavern. After Ice Cavern, though, the lead's gonna stay pretty stable up until Chaos Shrine. So we'll see about that.
It's like, I didn't see if Leno did it, but Pikmin's opting for the black garbs on the white mage. And that's that's really a runner's preference. Like, I would say the not putting black garbs on the white mage is not that big a deal. You have the potential to save time in the menu. Putting them on has the potential to save time on encounters, and not putting them on the white mage also makes Evil Eye, the first fight of it, pretty risky.
Alright. So it looks like, I'm not sure whether or not... I don't think Lenophis goes for the health management. I think he still walks on the damage dials a bit. Lower his health, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he stopped doing that, actually.
Because his health is a bit high to go for,
Thundara?
Yeah.
He might have to in this case.
So I know Pikmin does actively keep his health down.
As long as your HP is under 70 going into Evil Eye, Thundara should kill you. Or kill off those particular characters. It's gonna be a little scary for Lenophis though, because his Black Mage is so low on HP, there is a chance that Thundara can kill the Black Mage as well.
Yeah, his Black Mage is gonna have to be full health.
Yeah, and then if he doesn't have the Black Garbs on the White Mage, then it's a problem, because Evil Eye, with the Black Mage dead, Evil Eye has a chance to outspeed the White Mage.
And yeah, he does, and I don't think he did it because of the way his formations are looking.
The Cockatrice ambush is unfortunate on Pikmin's side, although it can be a mixed blessing, right? If he decides not to revive the warrior in this particular state, he can leave the warrior petrified and it won't gain any experience on the grind fight.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would de-petrify him just because at this point you have so many encounters to run from still that having an extra character to be able to run with is more of an advantage than a boon at this point. So like,
yeah, at B1 in Cavern of Ice, yeah, I would have to agree. I would, and he did. But if it happened later on, like right before Evil Eye, if it happened a lot closer to Evil Eye, I would just leave him petrified.
So White Dragons, I mean, that gives good experience, I guess. You got like a level out of that, that's nice.
That saves a turn on Evil Eye.
Most likely, yeah. Okay, wow, doing... Oh, one step
Leno's
before the
getting
stairs.
some bad
Wow.
luck here. Leno's getting some bad luck by the looks of it. Pikmin has a chance to catch up.
Well, not with this luck. Oh, man. We're not gonna see a pro lock. Is he gonna go for the run, though? That's the interesting thing. Okay, well, he's been getting bad luck, but he's been playing risky, and it's been paying off, so... But man, he's been getting railed with all these bad encounters.
Leno got the clutch 3 HP survive on the Black Mage.
Nice. Saving before the spike tile is a good idea.
Yeah, because if you get ambushed at the spike tile, then you can just reload. It's
Yeah,
faster.
yeah, it's faster. Thankfully he got a good run away, but gets it in. Ooh, preemptive on Dark Wizards. That's...
Well, that's, what, 2 1 in 64 encounters now?
yeah, I mean, he's been getting some weird luck. Like, both good and bad. Like, he got White Dragons, but he survived, and then he got Dark Wizards, but it was a preemptive.
Yeah, both the Dark Wizards and the White Dragons are potential run killers. The White Dragons, if they Ice Storm you, you're dead, and the Dark Wizards, if they Fire Rag you're dead. Cruel just said the Dark Wizards are 3 and 64, so they're not as rare as the White Dragons.
Yeah, it looks like there's still a big difference, sadly, that... Like, they were... Pikmin was already a bit behind with, as Leno wintered Ice Cavern, but it seems that his Ice Cavern was a bit worse. Because Leno is just finishing up with the grind, so I think that's, what, 2 minutes or so? Difference?
Yep. It's about 1:45 to grind optimally, I think.
Hmm.
That's my goal for that, actually.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I think this lead is gonna stay, at least until Chaos Shrine, and the Chaos Shrine, I mean, we saw a 3-minute lead get broken, so you never know.
My goal on the grind fight is a minute. So
yeah, I think there was something along the lines like 1:30 or so. It also depends on. I think that like 1:30 can be lost just on exiting the Ice Cavern. That's how bad this place is.
Oh, it definitely can.
But keep in mind that like this is Sea Lump and Cockatrice Ambush. This could like I don't know if he saved after the grind. I think he probably preferred the Spike Tile. But I mean that could set him like back 40 seconds if he dies here. Looks like he's not gonna die. Oh, he opts for the runaway. That's a bit risky. That's a bit risky indeed. Come on, Bruces, you can do this. Nice. Okay. See, that lost him a bit of time. Yeah, his Rose has like more than enough HP. His Black Mage is looking good as well. 215, wow. Oof. His Black Mage is gonna be fine. He's probably gonna have to tonic his ninja, if anything. Okay, so we grinded all the way to 19. Oh, I think if his White Mage had died in the previous fight, so he did 18 plus 1, but his Black Mage was already a bit ahead. So hopefully he gets a better exit so we can catch up a bit. One advantage to grinding is that your run away from counters is a lot easier as well, like it's immediately noticeable. Like the Spike Tile was difficult to run from initially, but once you grind it's not that bad.
Yeah. And
the Bloodbone's Ambush.
I had to refresh, so I can't see what's going on at the moment.
Lenophis is just arriving at the your ship. But now the routes are diverging, so we won't really know up until Chaos Shrine. And I doubt the lead's gonna dissipate until then, really. Another White Dragon, so I think he's not really gonna have any worries about his EXP now.
Yeah, both runners had a marginal at best Cavern of Ice. Lenophis is being a little bit better, of course. Getting an ambush on the way back to the airstrip from Caravan, though, is unfortunate. Generally, you don't get any encounters between the airstrip and the Caravan. It's possible, but it's not very common.
These hellhounds here, I think, are unrunnable.
Theoretically, they're not supposed to be, but I've never actually ran away from them.
Yeah, I ran into them right here by the Caravan, and I tried to run for like 3 straight rounds, and I couldn't. So I'm pretty sure they're unrunnable. Not sure why they are unrunnable there, but runnable in Mount Gulg. But
If they are unrunnable in that area, that's the only encounter where the where you encounter them makes them unrunnable, which makes, I mean, the fact that that would be the only encounter in the game that works like that kind of makes it seem to me like they are runnable and they're just hard to run away from.
Yeah, that was my theory too, but I just could not run from them. So
I would have to look into that. So Pikmin's on his way to Citadel now. He got the rare sandworm, but not an ambush, so it was not very threatening for him. He just run away. And Lenophis is on his way to Citadel now too. So because of the route change, or the route differences, it looks like Pikmin is in the lead when Lenophis still is, technically. Pikmin opting for a safety save in Citadel. Hey, deaths here are really uncommon, but they have been known to happen. Like a Medusa ambush or a Mind Flare ambush here is quite dangerous. Ambush on the spike tile too. It looks like so far Leno's having the better Citadel of the two.
Alright. Well, like, even if Leno finishes first or last, he's still ahead because of the stuff he's done before them, so it's sort of misleading the way because of the different routes at this point. So I want to check how he did. So that was what, 5250 or so, Citadel? Respectable time. So he's about a minute behind his PB at the moment. So I think he could still PB. Definitely not out of the question. Pikminsteve right here.
Yeah, good late game, and PB is not off the table for him.
Yeah, this part of the run goes by so quickly, like, like it's hard to think that you're halfway there, but like Ice Cavern is really the halfway mark of the run. So almost at the end, pretty much. It's like one third left.
Pikmin is on an emulator right now. Lenophis is on console. I believe Pikmin's on an emulator.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, the battle transitions are a little faster on emulator, but the map transitions are faster on console, I believe.
There's lots of factors that go into it as well. I think the fastest would probably be a PSTV because of the memory speed on that.
As far as PSP console versus PPS PP 1.1, they come out about even in the end.
Yeah.
It's enough that we allow both times on the leaderboards.
I mean, if the game were like 100% execution and shorter, then maybe we'd separate it. But seeing the nature of the game itself, like 10-15 seconds over a run isn't the end of the world. It's accepted. And even then, like, people can see clearly which ones are MU or not, so if they personally feel like MU is not a legitimate way of playing the game, they can simply filter out those times, so...
Pikmin's not going for the ninja haste strats.
If you're going for the ninja haste strats, you have to buy it. You have to do Mount Golnest, essentially. Because you don't have the necessary levels to buy with the ninjas, you have to do it after he's leveled up a bit.
It's also luck dependent too on your MP rolls.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't have enough MP to cast it.
Actually, it was pretty funny in my all bosses PB. I did not have enough MP to cast haste until I got to Omega.
Nice.
Well, one of my ninjas could, and then the other one just like was stuck at 6 MP until I got to Omega, and then finally had enough. I was actually kind of worried I wouldn't have haste on one of them for Omega.
That's funny.
I think that's part of why Lenophis does his route the way he does, is so that he can get ninja haste. But even then it's a crapshoot, right? Because if you don't get the right MP rolls on the ninja, then you can buy the haste and not be able to cast it anyway.
True, true.
I think it's what, 15 MP to cast haste, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, something along those lines.
So as you can see, Lenophis is his route goes into Sunken first, whereas Pikmin's goes into Dog first.
Yeah, so Pikmin's about a minute and a half behind his PB, which is still, like, not that bad. He's lost a bit of time since Citadel. But, you know, he could still pull it out. I mean, only being a minute off your PB is still pretty good.
I think Leno has gained at least a minute or two on him since.
It's really hard to tell. We'll only really see once they enter Chaos Shrine, and even then, like, that Chaos Shrine is a definite lead breaker, if there is any.
Yeah.
It's not as devastating.
Dog takes about a minute.
Yeah.
That's the last one, yeah. Dog takes about a minute and a half to do, and probably about, what, 10 seconds to fly there. So when Leno finishes Tiamat, add a minute 40 to that, and then tack that on Pikmin's Tiamat time, and we'll kind of know where they stand.
Right. So water elementals alone are unrunnable, but when they're paired with Nagas, they become runnable. That's only when they're exclusively alone. But yeah, I think you're right. Leno has stayed ahead. Pikmin should be able to kill Crack in about 2 minutes after Leno does, and if he does, he's basically tied with him, because Lenophis is going to have to do Mount Goak afterwards. And I don't think he's on pace for that, seeing where Leno is currently.
Yeah. This is basically at a minute 30 to Leno's time, and that's where his pace roughly is.
Yeah.
That's assuming an average mount though. You can see there he's using the black robe to kill the Sahagan Prince-in-Chief encounter, rather than the Judgment Staff, because he took the time to pick it up.
So he gets the ribbon here instead of in Waterfall Cave.
That's interesting. It's a little bit out of the way, but it makes that spike tile on Waterfall safer.
Yeah, I guess that's actually a good idea, because then you can't... Ooh, black robes is a weapon. Interesting. Interesting.
I think the only reason the black robe works is because he has intelligence boosting equipment on the white mage.
Right.
Because I tested black robing or gauntleting encounters in here. I tested that myself, and without the intelligence boosting equipment, you can't one-shot them. So it's a little bit riskier in the fact that he doesn't have full agility equipment on for running away from enemies. But if he gets a lot of unrunnables, then it is faster because he kills them faster. It's sort of a risk-reward thing that Lenophis does. Did Leno's stream freeze?
Oof.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get Leno's side back up in just a moment. Right now, Pikmin's coming up on the Rosetta Stone. Yeah. I'm not sure where Pikmin's going at the moment. Okay, now he remembered that he had teleport. I've done that a couple times myself. It's looking like Pikmin's having a pretty decent sunken overall so far. He had a bad second floor, but everything after that's been okay. Lenophis is having some technical issues at the moment. We're gonna try and sort that out. Okay, so Lenophis's PC crashed. He's still going though, so we'll get his stream back up in a second. Luckily, he's on console, so that that doesn't affect his actual playing.
Okay, we're good now.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. So depending on how far Lenophis is into Waterfall, Pikmin might have caught up a little bit. Because Pikmin has the minute and a half from Gulg advantage over Lenophis. Lenophis still has to do Mount Gulg.
Yeah, I don't think that's costing the race at all. I think the Lenophis is still a bit ahead.
Oh yes, for sure. He's still
He,
ahead.
he
but,
kept going, like, from the looks of it, he hasn't stopped at all.
Pikmin has caught up some time from encounter luck by the looks of it. He had a decent sunken, Pikmin did. Whereas Lenophis had a bunch of unrunnables. I think he still has the lead, but it's the gap has been closed a little bit. So yeah, Lenophis didn't have to pick up the ribbon just because he got it in Sunken Shrine, so he already has the ribbons on everybody.
I think it's probably better to get it before, because then you don't have to worry about cockatrices.
Yeah, it's a little more out of your way though. Technically you should be losing time getting it in Sunken, but it does make that spike tile safer.
Yeah, I think it's first no choice. I mean, I can't really condemn it as specifically slower, like you take a few extra steps, but...
I don't think I would consider doing it in Sunken, just because the floor that the ribbon's on has a lot of unrunnable encounters. If the Sahagin Prince and Chiefs weren't as common as they are on that floor, I think I would consider it a lot more.
True. Yeah, second shrine in general just kinda sucks.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I think they're actually a lot closer than we think. Just because Lenophis still has to do all.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at it at like 2 minutes behind physically, but seeing as how Pikmin doesn't have to go Mount Coke since he's already done it, you know, it's not actually 2 minutes. He may even have a bit of a lead. It really depends on his walk.
I don't think he has the lead, but I think it's pretty neck and neck.
I mean, he can have the lead after the walk, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, the walk will determine who's in front. I mean, even if Leno hadn't or had done Mount Gog, and they were at this point, then it would still be pretty close. So, Pikmin's on the walk there, Leno's on the walk back. So. guess it really depends on the quality of encounters that Pikmin gets, but it's not a good start with the Minotaur zombies.
Indeed. Yeah, I think Lenophis definitely has a lead now. Yeah. It's just terrible.
It's so close enough that Castle's Shrine is going to depend, or is going to determine the outcome of this. Yeah, any game can realistically be speedrun. I've seen speedruns of Stardew Valley. Like that's a game that you just don't think is something that one would speedrun, but people speedrun it.
Yeah.
They both got the Lufanian and NPC troll.
I think not getting it is more of a miracle than
Impressive.
getting it.
Yeah, Pikmin's had a terrible stretch of walk.
I think every encounter has been memorable for him. So at this point, health-wise, he should be good with all the HP he's getting.
Yeah, he's walking on more forest styles than he has to, though. There's the evil eye in Flying Fortress. I want to see if Leno proves my earlier comment true about how if you find one, you find 100 of them. There we go. See, I called it. You can go the entire way without seeing evil eye, but when you do, you see him all the time. No, this route doesn't get Excalibur because there's a better sword than Excalibur. The Barbarian sword, which you get from the optional dungeon. You get it from the hardest form of Chronodia, but we can glitch it well before we would have to go in there.
Also, like, I think that this walk is mythical. I think every single encounter so far has been unwinnable, and he's gotten so many. Like, I think he might have just lost like 2 minutes to Leno just on this walk. It's been great. I think that might have cost him the race. That walk was terrible.
Yeah, you're right. That very well might have cost him the race.
I mean, we'll see. Keep in mind that Lenophis still has to do Mount Gold. If he gets a good Mirage Tower, you know, it's not the question at all.
Yeah, that's true.
And then even if he's behind going into Chaos Shrine, you know, that's not necessarily an issue if he gets good luck.
Yeah, Chaos' Shrine can still determine the race. Takes about 4 minutes to do Mirage and Flying Fortress.
Yeah, so he's about 3 minutes
spot.
behind.
Yeah.
3 to 4 minutes behind.
Like
Well, immediately.
It's 4 minutes in my PB, but my PB has a really, really good Mirage.
So he's
So
like,
I'd say maybe closer to 5 minutes on average.
yeah. So he's only actually like 3 or so minutes behind.
Yeah, and then cut the minute and a half that Leno still has for gold.
I mean, even then, like he could still get a bad goal. It's not another question.
That's true. the different routes make this for an interesting view. Because like we can guess who's in the lead, but we don't really know until they both enter Chaos Run. It's hard to say who's ahead, but I'm fairly confident that Leno is. The reason I say that it's hard to tell is, like we said, Leno has to do Mount Gulg, whereas Pikmin already has it done. But judging on what I can see, I would say Leno has the lead. If I had to hazard a guess, it'd be about a 1.5 minute lead. Oh, I don't know. They're both about to fight the respective bosses.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Looks like Leno isn't getting the best Mount Gold, so... It may be the best for speedrunning, but is it the funnest? Yeah, it looks like Leno has a slight lead.
I would say that comment's a little objective, cool, or subjective, rather.
I mean,
it's
like
the fastest.
It's
the
most. It's the most.
The best.
I'd say it's the most catering to a speedrun. That's for sure. Yeah, GBA and PSP both have extra dungeons. PSP has the most extra dungeons. GB added in the. Go ahead.
Leno's fighting Aerolith while Pikmin's fighting Tiamat, so this is close. I mean, Leno had a bad Flying Fortress, so it's possible Pikmin caught.
It's anyone's game, man. But it's FF1's game in the end. This is gonna be tight. This is going to be tight indeed.
They're both on what I would say is an average run pace of 133 to 135 by the looks of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely slightly ahead. Oh, but he does have to still have to do shopping. So I think we'll see. We'll see. I think it's like tied at this point.
What shopping does? Oh, he's still sweating.
Yeah. So I think. Yeah, Pikmin's slightly ahead then. But I mean, this is... Wow, okay, this is close. This is... It's ridiculous.
This is hard to call.
This is ridiculous. Oh,
we'll
wow.
see if Ninja...
This is ridiculously close.
Hands out for Leno.
This is ridiculously close. They're like seconds apart. Oh man. It's one of the closest races I've seen.
Who knows, like, this might come down to Ninja Haste on Leno's part.
I mean, like, one encounter. One encounter, and it's...
One encounter.
It's one extra encounter, we'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, magic pattern versus physical pattern. Chaos could decide this.
The Chaos is like, you can easily vary it. Okay. Oof, that was a good first floor. That was real good. No encounters at all. Leno's already getting an encounter, yeah. That's bad. Purple Worm, thankfully it's not too bad. And okay, yeah, Pikmin's just now getting his first encounter, and it's easy to run from.
No encounters on the first floor is really good because generally the encounters on the first floor are either white dragons or purple worms.
Yeah, first floor is pretty good. It's encounter number 4, green dragons. Still close. I mean, if Leno can get a good third floor.
Kraken floor can still decide this too.
Oh yeah, it's even if they're in one floor. Okay, this is still extremely close. Okay, no, this is ridiculously tied. Ah, no one got an encounter. Okay, wow, this is still tied. Good. Oof, I wanted to come down to chaos, man. So about like 6 seconds difference.
Yep.
Dragon zombies off the bat. Leno's getting a good stretch. Oh, he almost made it at the end. He might not even get an extra encounter before the end. He gets dragon zombies. Well, that's equalizes things a bit. Hopefully, no. Oof, yeah. Leno's definitely pulled ahead. Yeah, but then he's getting mad energy on this next floor. Who knows, man? Who knows? Yeah, Pikmin's is having a terrible split so far. He's already had 3 dragon zombie encounters, and he's not even like halfway through the first floor. So
Leno's white dragons played nice too, by only the 1 physical attack from them rather than any ice storms.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, Leno's already moved onto the ice floor, the earth floor, sorry. And Pikmin's like facing all the unknownables. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see how the rest of the floor goes, but
I mean, it's not unheard of to get a 1 encounter Kraken floor either, so
yeah.
there's still a very large stretch of Chaos' Shrine left to be played out. Oh, Ice Storm on Pikmin's side.
It's not good.
That was just the full Ice Storm, and he's opting lethal.
Flare's
He's at
gonna
low
be,
health.
it's gonna be a big thing as well.
If he was at full health, I probably would have tried to run, but seeing how he hadn't healed before the white dragons, killing them was probably the smart idea on his end.
Alright.
That's one of those split-second decision-makings that you have to do in this run. Do you run? Do you run? Do you fight them? Ideally, you would want to run, but in that situation, fighting them is the safer move.
Yeah, so at this point, Lenophis has already been Lich. He didn't get flared. So Pikmin's gonna need to pull out some good floors, because he just got terrible luck.
Yeah, this has been an absolutely atrocious Chaos Shrine on Pikmin's part.
I mean, the beginning was good up to Death Eye, but after that, it all fell into
Yeah.
pieces, like a good 5 unhonorable encounters that all take a while to die. It's not too good. I still think he has a chance, like if Kraken goes bad and Chaos goes bad for Leno.
Oh yeah, he's not out of it, not yet. That's for sure. It's still close enough. That
There's a surprising amount of game left. Okay, I think his Earth Cavern flow has been okay. So he's like behind by Marilla, so it's about a minute. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Have to see what luck Leno gets. Leno's already on a good stretch. Oh man, that's real good for Leno.
It's not uncommon to lose a minute on Chaos, so...
What? Okay, that was really good for Leno so far. Is he gonna get just...
Wow.
Wow, dude. Wow. That is an insane... That's an insane Kraken split right there. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was faster than my gold.
Yeah, that was one encounter that was an instant runaway. That was... I may have sealed it. I mean, Chaos is gonna... He's gonna need to, like, die to Chaos. Or have to reset immediately. And then Chaos to be pretty bad at this point. Because, I mean... Unless Pikmin can match that, but, I mean, that was just insane. You just got one encounter and it was good.
I'm pretty sure my gold Kraken 2 was a 2 encounter both instantly, so that was, on Leno's side, that was faster than my best ever Kraken 4.
That was crazy.
The dream.
Well, let's see if you can match it. So far, so good. Okay, that's a good encounter. But I mean, that's a lot lower than Leno got it, that's for sure. So he's probably gonna get another one.
Wouldn't be surprised if he gets 3 here.
I think we're looking at 3 to 4 at this point. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no. It's. I don't think he can take it at this point. We're gonna need to death for him to be able to take it. Leno just pulled too far ahead with these last 2 splits. Like, Leno's Chaos Shrine has been pretty good.
Probably faster than World Records Chaos Shrine.
Probably, yeah. That was... Especially Kraken. Kraken was insane. Like, I think Pikminsteve didn't get a bad Kraken split at all. I mean, it's pretty much average, but Leno just destroyed it, getting just 1 encounter. And Pikmin's like, Lich split must be terrible. Like, it was atrocious how many encounters he got. I felt bad for him.
Yeah. Oh, it's all up to Chaos now.
Indeed, indeed.
We'll see how Chaos treats Lenophis.
I mean, it's not out of the question for Lenophis to die, you know. I mean,
Blaze
itself
Tsunami
is...
Cyclone.
Yeah.
That's all it takes is a Blaze Tsunami Cyclone pattern.
But at this point, like, we're gonna need to see a death. He's not gonna lose to bad pattern alone. He's gonna have to die. Because there gets past the first turn. That's good. Or, yeah. His ninja hastened himself, I think.
Yeah, you got a first turn physical too. That's a good sign.
Okay, Blaze, it's not a good sign. I mean, HP-wise, he's pretty set. Like, his ninja's at 329, so I really don't think dying is going to be a problem. At all.
He'd have to get crit.
Yeah, he'd have to get something absurd, like a crit on White Mage. Even then, at 4 for HP, I doubt she'd die. It'd have to be like a crit after Tsunami or something like that, where she can heal to full. Well, here comes the Tsunami. I think he's gonna get the Cyclone as well, but that may not be a problem for him. I think he might die to the Cyclone. That was really high damage rolls.
I don't think I've ever seen him not Cyclone after Tsunami. I know he can, but I've never seen it myself.
He's close to dying too. Okay, there goes the Cyclone. Let's see if someone dies. If his ninja dies, I don't even think... I don't think... Yeah, it's too late now. Because even if his ninja dies, he can still finish before Kiraja. Okay, there we go. His ninja died, but that shouldn't be a problem. He's gonna finish before Kiraja at this point. He's only a couple turns away. He shouldn't be rizzing though. That's not a good move. He's so close. He's so close to Chaos dying. I think if he rizzes, he risks Chaos doing Kiraja.
Yep.
Blizzaga, okay, well, that's dumb. Hopefully he realizes that and doesn't go for the Phoenix Stone again. If we see a Kiraja though...
It's a first turn Blaze.
If we see a Kiraja though, this is gonna be tight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the Ether is White Mage, who's gonna be low on HP. But yeah, we're gonna need to see some more shenanigans. So I think his Chaos is 1 to 2 turns away from dying, if that.
Yeah. If Chaos Kirajas, then Pikmin has a chance. And then it would just be, in that case, Leno's choice of Rezzing the Ninja would be the deciding factor.
Yeah.
Luckily, Chaos Earthquaked, that's a free turn for Leno.
Blaze. Yeah, I think he's going for the standard magic cycle at this point. Which means he's getting close to Kiraja. Okay, there we go.
GG.
GG. Close race, close race. That chaos was bad, but he had enough of going into it that. Oh wow. That was close.
Yeah, that was close enough that if Chaos had gotten Kiraja off, then Pikmin would have won.
Wow.
Wow.
Just wow.
GG.
Just
GG.
wow. Thanks. 23-second difference. That's wow.
You were neck and neck walking into Chaos Shrine.
Really?
Like
Oh my
a second apart.
goodness.
Yeah, let's throw a PC crash in there too.
I have to say, Leto, shoutouts to your one encounter Kraken floor.
Also, if I might add, that is the closest race in the entire double elimination bracket.
How close
Really?
was it?
23
22
seconds.
22
22
seconds, yeah.
The next best race is 31 seconds. So this is the closest race we've seen in the entire double elimination so far. And I think the third closest in the entire tournament.
Yeah,
You
that
had to
was.
use Cyclone.
I mean, there was no way you were gonna get it, to be honest, going into the fight, unless he died or he got a reset because of Kiraja. Just because you had such a bad Chaos Shrine, and he had such a good Chaos Shrine that, like, yeah, you were like a minute and a half behind, maybe
really?
even 2 minutes. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, Leno had a one encounter Kraken floor and it was runnable, like quickly.
Like, I was afraid there that you were going to get Kiraja because you had gone through the magic pattern. It's possible that he does Blaze, Tsunami, Cyclone, Earthquake, Kiraja. Like, that can happen. And that may have, like, pushed it toward... That would have probably made Pikmin win at that point. I don't know, do you count damage, or... Why'd you opt for Rezzing the Ninja instead of just going and trying to kill him without using the Ninja's attack?
Yeah, I thought about it, and I probably could have survived, but I didn't think it was that far into Chaos's, him dying. Like,
You were close enough to his death that had you not revived the ninja, you would have had no problems.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't really counting on I wasn't counting his hit points there.
Yeah, going into the fight, I was surprised that everyone had like so much HP. Like 350 on Ninja, that's high.
Yeah, you had good HP rolls throughout the whole run, Pikmin.
I still used a Giant's Tonics on Black Mage because he only had 239 or something like that entering Chaos.
Right.
Whew.
That was a good game.
That was close. Like we said, if Chaos had gotten Courage off, then that would have been the deciding factor in the race.
You know, I'm gonna say that me losing was Walk to Lufenia because that was dumb.
You lost a lot of time there, but you made that all back up in Mirage and Flying Fortress.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you were a minute and a half behind after the Lufenian walk, and then you were neck and neck walking into Chaos' Shrine.
Oh my god.
You were a second apart walking into the shrine. It was your Lich floor that was the deciding factor in the end. Because you got a million unrunnables.
I had a ton of battles that was just dumb.
Well, I guess I can't hate Raze now. Next thing is Earth Elementals.
Yeah, the difference between both of your Lich floor wasn't the number of encounters, but the quality of them. Pikmin just got all the unrunnables, and you got runnable ones, Leno.
Did he? He didn't flare though.
Yeah, he didn't flare for either of you.
Nope. I thought he would.
So what happened to your PC?
When I was doing the equipment glitch in Sunken Shrine, I heard my music die. So I'm like, okay, maybe I just got the music byproduct. So I look over, I'm like, nope, timer stopped, PC hard locked. So while I'm doing the waterfall, I have to reboot the PC and then get back into, restart the stream. I guess it's an issue with my motherboard that it just seems to randomly happen. This happened during the Cruel's All Bosses race that I think was sub 6, but I'll never know.
You'll have to sub 6 again to find out.
Yes, I will. Well, I had a 47-minute labyrinth, so I knew it came close.
Indeed.
That beats my labyrinth.
So, like, how far ahead was I at the beginning of the game when I was on, like, Uber World Record pace?
Yeah, it was pretty close.
At what point?
Like, the beginning of the game?
You were both really close, like within 30 seconds of each other.
I think there's like a minute
splits. Yeah, I had 2 gold splits early on. It was Pirates and Crown, I think, because I had some kind of weird marsh cave luck.
Yeah, your ground splits were both good.
Yeah. Like, you had a slight lead Pikmin going into Astos, and then you lost it on the walk to the ship.
Yeah, I saw Estes casting death, and I'm like, yep, it's my time. It's overdue. He's going down, and then I saw it was my white mage, and I'm like, ah.
Both of you had solid Garland times, both of you had really solid pirates, and both of you had amazing crowns. Like, both sub 9 crowns, I believe.
Yeah, and I had, what key? Oh, shoot, I don't spell on key. I think it was like 16-minute key, and I'm like, what?
I lost
You
a
can
ton
do
of
that?
time on Mystic Key. Yeah. I lost a ton of...
Yeah, it happened. Like, I think at least according to the splits, it all went downhill between Vampire and Lich.
Yeah. The Lich could have been much better after the Astos time. And then the rest of the game didn't treat you guys too well. But then Chaos Shrine, I think... How good was your Chaos Shrine compared to your PB, Leno? Did you... Well, I guess you don't know. I guess we'll never know. At this point.
All I will say, Leno, is that your Kraken floor beats my gold split. Which is, it's insane.
Yeah.
The one encounter quickly. It's just so nuts.
Earth Elementals. What's the chances of them showing up on that floor? Isn't it like 3 in 64 or something like that?
Nah,
No,
it's pretty common.
They're common.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're common.
They're not rare anymore at that point.
I think that today was the first day that I've seen them there.
I mean, they're not, like, omnipresent, but, I mean, they should happen. Like, a good amount of time.
Also,
I-
shoutouts to the 2 white dragons in Ice Cave.
Oh yeah, and the Dark Wizards too.
All the rare encounters. I should have been going full bestiary.
Yeah, you had a terrible ice cavern. As far
I
as
should have just been in the chat like, sorry guys, I'm doing a different category now.
So, what are your thoughts about getting third place? After... Because did you run this game before signing up for the tournament?
I think I would run this game for a solid 7 days before this tournament started.
Before
Like,
signing up, how'd you run the game?
Yeah. Yeah, like I was in Cruel's stream or whatever, and I was asking about the game because I wanted to learn it, and he's like, "Here, actually, no, Rory gave me the notes." And then like a week later, Cruel's like, "Hey, we're gonna do this tournament. I want to do it." But
You got further than I did.
yeah. Well, then again, you forfeit when you race because of bad chrono luck.
Of course, yeah.
All right, I'm back. My PC decided it wanted to hard lock again.
Eesh. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen again.
I'm hoping it doesn't. It seems to be streaky. It'll do it a few times, and then it's not going to do it for 3 months, and then it's going to do it a few times, and it's not going to do it for a few months.
Does it just like crash, or does it like say an error?
There's been a couple times where I've gotten a blue screen of death, but lately it's just been dead stop. Well, if there's anything audio playing, that it'll just whatever's in the buffer will just keep playing over and over.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, the only problem I've ever had with this game is it was happened like twice in a row, but like I got a blue screen whenever I had the bridge unlocked or whatever, and it was like because of conflicting graphics cards, and then I just disabled the Intel default one, and I haven't had an issue since. So
Right.
just
All right.
Cyclone.
So what's up next? Do I have to race again?
Well, yeah.
Of course.
You're in the grand finals. So what are your
Let's
thoughts?
do this,
when-
Leno.
Yeah.
We don't. Cruel
Let's get
can't
this
take over
show.
the universe. It's up to you, Leno.
It's up to me. Rematch versus Cruel.
Yeah, this will be an interesting match.
It will be indeed.
May you both not have chrono luck.
Thank you. Let's
Are you,
let's
are
hope
you
so.
trying? Are you trying to say Chrono has bad luck?
This is the joke. Anytime you have bad luck, we all call it chrono luck.
So are we just gonna wipe the Tiamat 2 for Scourge? Is that what's gonna happen?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh God.
Well, you both know the old route, so might as well race it. Why not?
No.
I-
I actually
You should put the GIF on
hardly
screen,
know.
Chrono.
I forget who it was, but at the beginning of our
Let me
race,
put this.
somebody
GIF,
was
let me
like,
put this GIF on screen. For those who
Yeah,
don't.
That's still happening.
"Oh,
That
that
is-
yeah,
That is one of the best.
Do I have it?
Final Fantasy 1 in a nutshell."
I have it. I have it somewhere. Yes.
This is a really funny gift, guys. Trust me.
It's back in the days where we didn't have ribbons, you could just die to Tiamat. Great stuff.
This is the
Alright.
funniest thing.
I'm
Right, look at this.
I'm going to be kicking some people off my internet connection right now because I'm dropping way too many frames. I'll be right
Okay.
back and then I'll be ready to go.
Chrono, do you want me to keep streaming on the same one I've been using?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That turned out to be
Alright,
easier.
so
That makes me laugh every time.
you can.
Let me get
Gonna
my stream
pass-
back up then.
I'm gonna pass some of the commentary over to you, Pikmin, so I can go get some lunch
Oh, I'm gonna do commentary.
for a bit. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
so
obliged.
we're gonna have a small intermission here for a little bit to give the runners like a couple to give Lenophis a bit of time to rest. You know, get ready. Cruel also has a bit of issues.
We don't need no rest.
So we're gonna take about a 10-minute break or so.
Plan your victory speeches.
Just let things settle down for a bit.